Blessings and good morning, sisters. Good morning. Today is what is today? It's the 10th of January, 2021, Sunday, as I record this. Although the content of today's message will be timeless, if you will. Good morning, Pat. Hey, good to have you here. Blessed morning to you as well, sister. Blessings to the sisters as you come on. Hey, Rosemary, good morning. So she says, Rosemary says, so looking forward to this, needed it. Okay, yeah, I was going to do a ceremony today, actually. So I feel this will be a very nurturing and very, what's the word? Fortifying is the word that's coming up, fortifying for us for the week ahead. Good morning, Judith. Good to have you here. Okay, as I see sisters coming on the line, we're going to drop into a grounding and centering here in a moment, and then I have a few kind of announcements, information that will be helpful for you. And then we're going to do a ceremony today, a short ceremony. Abigail, good morning. This is so interesting because you were very much in my heart in the last couple of days. You came up for me, your name came up, and I was feeling your energy. So it's wonderful to have you here, sister. And those of you may remember that Abigail was one of the speakers in Return of the Priestess, and I'll be touching a little bit on what's coming up with regard to that in a moment here. Okay, Allison, good morning. Marcia, hi, good morning to you as well. Victoria, welcome. Hi, good morning. Oh, it is such a blessing to have this as my weekly touchstone, as a place that calls me to ground and center in sacred space with my sisters. And it's really a joy and an honor to be the initiator, the facilitator of this space. I'm excited about some of the things that I'll be developing in 2021. I'll be touching on a few of those in a moment. Usha, good morning. Abigail, oh, there's another I love that picture of you. Oh, that's a cool one. Hi again, Abigail. Hey, Inga. Hello, dearest. Good afternoon to Usha in London. Okay, sisters, so we're 3 minutes in. Let's go ahead and do our grounding and centering, like I said, and then I'm going to do a few housekeeping or information, heads up about a few things that are coming up, and then we are going to do a ceremony of light today to assist ourselves, to fortify ourselves, and more importantly, to really spread that light for our planetary sisters and brothers at this time. We're at a critical phase in our evolutionary journey, in our ascension journey right now. And so we are able as priestesses to really be vessels and channelers of light. So we're going to leverage that today as a group. Okay, so wherever you are right now on the planet and in your personal space, if it's safe to do so, if you're not listening to this and driving, for example, or making breakfast or lunch or dinner, if you can, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want to welcome also the sisters who are here live, but as well the sisters who watch this later, in the recognition that all time and space are now. So again, wherever you are, close your eyes if you can, if it's safe to do so. And allow this moment, that closing off of the external stimuli, to bring you inward. And so if you do need to keep your eyes open, I want to invite you now to connect in with the heart space. So imagine your third eye, your inner eye, turning inward to the inner world, to the inner self. And let us breathe together now, joining our hearts and minds, our frequency, in the name of love. Breathing in, taking a breath into the heart space, expanding the heart space until that breath reaches beyond the body into the field all around you. Good. And now as you exhale, let that breath drop down through the chakras and out your root chakra, carrying with it anything you're ready to release now. Beautiful. And now on the next breath, you're going to breathe in as if golden light is coming down through the crown, inhaling through your crown, third eye, throat, into the heart, expanding again, beyond the physical body, into the field around you. That's right. And exhaling to drop down through the solar plexus, sacral chakra, out the root, and sending that energy all the way down like a big taproot through the layers of earth until you reach the heart of Mother Gaia. And now breathing in, drawing up energy from Mother Gaia, inhaling like you're drinking through a straw, pulling that energy up, 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 up until you feel it at the base of the spine. And exhaling now to send that energy like a spiral up through all the chakras, through your central core, and sending it out the crown of the head, reaching up toward the heavens. We are opening and empowering that channel that connects us, the grounding and anchoring cord and the light channel. And now as you inhale again, drawing light down from the crown and energy up from the root, inhaling very deeply, drinking in very deeply until these energies meet in the heart. And exhaling to continue those energies on their way so that you have a spiral dance through the core of your being and through every chakra of light-filled love and earth grounding. And one more like that. Inhaling, pulling that energy from the heavens and from earth through your being to the heart. And on the exhale, sending them onward, allowing you to be that anchor, that vessel for light. Beautiful. And one more now, you're going to breathe into the heart on the inhale, drawing that energy in, down from the heavens, up from the core of Mother Gaia, into your heart. And now as you exhale, let that energy saturate your entire being, your physical and your energy bodies. Knowing that you are saturated, anchored, grounded, centered in love and light. And so it is. Taking a breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, coming back to this now moment. And for those of you, I see a bunch more have joined. For those of you who are just joining now, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Kimberly. Good morning. Okay, so from this place of grounding and centering, a few things I'd like to share before we go into our ceremony of light. So the first is I want to thank you, those of you who have filled out the survey that I sent out in an email. I sent out 2 reminder emails and 1 mistaken email on the first, 1 accidental email. And I didn't get a lot of results compared to how many people are on my list, but I got, a fair amount to certainly give me a sense of the pulse of what many sisters, certainly those who are engaged here, are needing and wanting and activating in their lives or challenged with in their lives. So there was a lot of beautiful information and a lot of sort of heart-wrenching information as well. And what I'm going to be doing, a couple things. One is I'm going to post the link to that survey here in the group so that anyone who's not taken that yet, if you feel inclined to do so, if you want your voice to be heard, then you can go ahead and do that if you're not on my list or somehow if my email got in your spam or something like that. So I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to begin a series, a video series. I've been praying for a guidance on a little video series to do. And I know what it is now. It's a Q&A to answer the questions, because one of the questions in the survey, there's only 4 questions, I think. One is, if you could ask me 2 questions, what would they be? So I want to start answering those questions. So I'm going to do that in a series of videos that I'll probably record and just put on YouTube and on BitChute and then share here, so that, if you asked a question, you'll eventually get your question answered. Hey, Marcia. Marcia says she's planning on filling hers out later today. Great, thank you. Yeah, the last email for the survey went out on Friday, by the way. So check your inbox, check your spam box if you did not receive it and you're on my email list. But I will post it here as well. Okay, so that's one thing. You can expect that coming up in the very immediate near future. Another thing is I'm planning on a return of the priestess too. And I'm really excited about this. It's going to be different than the first one in some ways, because we are in a very different place right now. Hey, Evelina. Good morning. Hi. So we are in a very different place right now. When I created Return of the Priestess and we co-created that with the other priestesses, we were at the beginning of the planetary lockdown and the threat of a virus and the uncertainty. And a lot has happened over the course of the year. And many are beginning to peel away the layers of the misinformation to see what is behind it. And we are beginning to realize that there's a much bigger situation at play, and that those of us who came to bring the light are really now called to bring that forward. So that's part of what's going to make it different, because we're in a different place. It's such an accelerated journey of ascension right now. It's happening so fast and can be so challenging that needs to be addressed. But there's going to be a whole different structure to the way I want to do it, with fewer speakers, much more specific to some topics, and more ceremony. So I hope that's what I'm being guided with right now, and it's in development. It's not going to happen until the spring. We have a lot to get through energetically as a planetary family, and that's sort of the next thing I want to talk about. Do I? Yeah. In this first quarter of 2021, and that's going to change things even more. So just a heads up that's going to be happening, and more on that to come. My apologies that I did not respond to any of your comments last week. As you know, I was broadcasting from a totally different place. I wasn't home. My husband and I were doing hikes in the woods and just really doing my best to really renew myself. I have a much shorter window of renewal this year compared to most years. Most years I take a good 6 weeks off. This time I had like 4 days. So I needed to stay away from, well, maybe 6 days. I needed to stay away as much as possible from interacting and just be with the earth. And then, of course, we had to drive there and drive back. So my apologies, I did not respond to things. I will probably be back on a little bit more now as I get back more into my routine. Pat says she's so looking forward to the new Return of the Priestess. I am too, and I can tell you I'm getting very excited about it. Very excited about it. Okay, so time frame. One other thing I want to talk about, and this will segue beautifully into our ceremony today. From an astrological perspective, this month is big with a capital B, capital I, capital G. It's heavy in some ways with a capital H, capital E, capital A, capital V, capital Y. We are in epic times. We are in great times. And by great, I don't mean great fun and great joy and whoopee. I mean great as in will go down in history as a profound time on our planet. For those of us in the United States, again, astrologically speaking, we are in a really heavy period where, so we have the new moon on the 13th. So today's the 10th. So the 13th is what? Wednesday? Yeah. We have a new moon on the 13th. It's exactly conjunct Pluto, where Pluto is in the sky right now, as well as conjunct, not exact, but by a degree or so, the United States natal Pluto. That's just the biggest of many, many things. So remember, when there's a new moon, that means the sun is there too. So we got Sun, we got Moon, we got Pluto, we got the natal Pluto of the US chart, and we have a bunch of other stuff that I won't suffer you, the Astro Geek, speak about. It is a big and epic time on our planet, and the focal point is the United States. There's a lot going on. Hey Giselle, good to have you here. Morning, Sasha. Hello, hello. Hey Tammy, welcome. So it's intense right now. And if you are watching what's unfolding either through the news or through alternative media that's giving a very different narrative, you know that there's a lot going on. I would really encourage you to look beyond any mainstream news, including what is allowed to be put in Facebook feeds. The censorship is profound right now. The lies are thick and deep. But it's not our role. It's not my role as in this arena, holding the space as priestess in this Return to the Priestess and Priestess School, my sort of overarching business here. To do the work of the truther or the whistleblower. My role is to hold the love light and to facilitate other women and a few men to do their inner work such that they become stronger vessels of love light so that they can fulfill whatever their soul's mission is. Okay, so some of you are personal friends of mine, or we correspond and we share, you can hear some of my personal reflections and what I'm researching and all that. But that is not what I feel this space is for. This space is really for us to up-level our frequency so that we can be the light that is necessary for this evolutionary change. This light is necessary in order to reveal what has been hidden, but it's also necessary in order to how do I say this? To bring enough love and a high vibrational frequency to mitigate the bumpy road ahead. The bumpy road we're already in, it's not even ahead. It's like we've been in like boom, 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 boom for a while now, right? And sometimes we get hit. Last week I was using the metaphor of crashing waves against wooden ships or ships, and some ships will get crashed under by the waves and broken apart, while others, when we navigate them, we might get hit by that wave, but we rise above and we come out the other side. But it's bumpy. Think about a big wave, and it's like you get launched, right? You're airborne for a moment, and boom, it's intense. So the light service, the love service, the priestess energy that I have been blessed to be able to bring forward, as many of us have, it's not just me, we're all here together doing this, is to mitigate the intensity of those whoosh and to reduce the number of ships that get crushed under the waves, to extend that metaphor, right? So that is what this ceremony is about. And of course, as I like to say before I do these sort of virtual ceremonies, if we were together in physical form, gathered together for a ceremony, we would not visualize this, we would literally perform it. I would literally be smudging each of you before you enter the temple space, or anointing you with oils, or welcoming you with a hug, or whatever the ritual is. We would literally be doing these things together. We would stand or sit in circle holding hands, singing together, raising our voices together, lifting our hearts together. We would dance together. We would raise cones of power for love and light, all of that. So, and that would make for a longer ceremony too, and it would make for a more multi-dimensional, what do you call it, like a multimedia experience, right? We would feel it physically, would emotionally, all of that. Creatively, we would have a physical altar in the center of our circle, all of that. And that may yet come to pass. It's certainly something I've done many times in my life, and I hope to do again at retreats or, in just ceremonial experiences. I've been holding back on those as I develop my online platform, and also because of what's going on, right? So keep that in mind. So what I'm going to be doing is guiding us through a visual, meditative ceremony of light for us to make sure that we're deeply connected with our own inner love light, and so that we collectively join our energies as priestesses to share that love light with our loved ones and with the world. Again, in order to help mitigate the intensity of the waves of frequency of this time, the intensity of the revelations that will be coming about, and for those who are struggling because of everything that's already unfolded in this year. So that is what we're going to go into now. And I just want to say a quick hello to some others who have shown up here. Liz, hey, welcome, sister. Welcome, Petra. She says, unfortunately, I don't receive your emails. Okay, so anyone who's not on my email list, here's what you do. You go to DelVecchio.com and you opt in up at the top. You get access to my Sacred Feminine Leadership Library, which you can, it has a bunch of resources there. I encourage you to do that. But that's the best way to get on my list, because if you send me your email, then I've got to go to my assistant and get her to load it up. And go to DawnDelVecchio.com. You can see the spelling of my name here in the group. One word, DawnDelVecchio.com, and opt in. Then you get the welcome emails, and then after that, you're in my community and you get my emails. I email a newsletter about once a week, and sometimes a couple more when something's going on, like the survey stuff, for example, or if there's a big event happening. Okay, so Tess, I don't know if it's Tess or Tess Sage. Anyway, Tess, welcome. Full moon in Aquarius will be powerful, she says. Yes, indeed. Amy, hey, hi. And yes, and everyone else who has not made a comment here, I see there's a number of you on here, so welcome. Okay, so let me take a sip of my water here to get ready for this, and we are going to do our ceremony of light. Okay. I'm going to bring this closer to me now. Okay. So you can hear me okay. Okay, beloved sisters, I'm so honored to have you here to join with me in sacred space as priestesses, to hold a field of love light for our planetary sisters and brothers, for Mother Gaia, as we undergo this ascension journey and some of the bumpiest parts of that ride. So let us drop in now into the center of our being to prepare to enter the temple for this sacred blessing and journey. Again, if it's safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. And I invite you to see yourself now dressed in the beautiful regalia of a royal priestess. For you are, sister, a royal priestess. You are of a royal lineage, from ancestors of great renown, known and unknown. And you wear the regalia of your tradition with the humble pride and strength and love that is the priestess frequency. And you see yourself now standing before a beautiful temple, a round temple space, a temple to the divine, to the Great Mother and her consort. And behind you, and in your mind's eye, you can look back to see priestesses dressed in their lineage regalia, standing, awaiting entry to the temple, as are you. And now you stand before me, and I hold a shell vessel billowing with sage and cedar smoke. And I kneel before you now to touch your feet, to honor the path that you and your ancestors have walked as priestess over generations. And I smudge your feet, and I stand up and rise and smudge upward from your feet across the whole front of your body, up until I reach your womb space, and with my fan feather smudging you, your womb space, your sacred belly, with this sage and cedar smoke. And rising up to your heart, I smudge you again. And up to your throat and your third eye, and all up and around the crown of your head. And in sweeping movements downward with my owl feather fan, I take that smudge smoke and bring it down your right side and down your left side from the top of the head. And I invite you to turn now so that your back faces me and you face all of your sisters in a row behind you, each in their beautiful attire. And I smudge you now from crown to toe, sweeping down your body, clearing your field, honoring you as a priestess of the temple of Lovelight. And when I'm complete, you turn around and we smile at each other and bow in gratitude, and you enter the temple. And as you enter the temple, you see before you a great circle of pillows surrounding an altar with candles and vessels of water and a great orb of light in the center. And you feel the way the orb calls you, connects with you at the heart space, offering you guidance and a specific message intended just for you. And so before you take your seat, pause a moment to receive that message from the orb of divinity of Lovelight, the great mother who has welcomed you to her temple. Breathe in and receive that message now. And taking a breath and knowing that you are a daughter of the divine, always loved, always held, always in communion with this sacred love light. You are guided now by your own internal compass to the pillow in the circle that is meant for you. And as you sit, you hold the energetic space for each of your other sisters entering this temple space one by one, pausing each in her turn to receive a message from the mother meant for her. as she carries the mantle of priestess in her own lineage. And as we sit, each in turn, the room fills with priestesses, gathering in a circle for this ceremony of light. And as the last sister enters the room to receive her guidance, her message, her blessing, and then sits, we all grab hands, reaching with your left hand, palm upward. You grasp the sister on your left's hand. Reaching with the right, palm facing downward, you grasp the hand of your sister to the right. And we together link hand in hand around the circle. And now let us breathe together, sisters. Breathing in, expanding into the heart space, pulling that light from the orb in the center, and exhaling to send that light out your right hand and around the circle. And feel that light come back to you now into the left hand as you breathe in, pulling light in from the Lovelight orb in the center, exhaling it out the right hand around the circle, receiving it in the left hand. That's right. And one more. Breathing in, pulling in that love light. And exhaling to send that around the circle, feeling how we strengthen ourselves by joining together, by linking hand to hand, heart to heart, to create that field of love light. And now you can give your sisters a little squeeze with your hands and look around the room, meeting eyes. Some eyes are brown, some are blue, some are green, some look golden in the love light of the orb. Some seem dark and black. Gaze upon sister after sister as we squeeze hands and honor the magnificence of our diverse beauty, of our unity in that diversity, of all the lineages which have come, gathered to this now moment in service to love. And feel the way each sister blesses you as you bless her. And when you're ready, you can release hands, drop your palms into your lap as we tune in now to our own ancestors. And I want to invite you now to call upon your ancestors, mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, great-grandmothers, all the way back from your biological lineage as you walk this earth in this incarnation. And feel the way they come to stand at your back, generation upon generation, entering the temple in their spirit form. And as you gaze around the room, you see the way each sister has a lineage going back of mothers and grandmothers, such that the room is filled with the love light of countless generations of high frequency, wisdom energy, and the mothers and grandmothers who did not get to live with divine feminine support, who have come now to receive the nourishment of this gathering. And we welcome them with our hearts, all of them. Whatever their life path had been, and whatever their eternal soul journey has been, they come now to support this and to receive this blessing of this ceremony. And feel the way they have your back. Feel the way they stand behind you, hands upon your back, and each of their generations back. We are all here together to heal and uplift the wounds of humanity and to awaken the divine remembrance of our always blessed love light. And as we feel this support from all lineages in this sister circle, we now call in our loved ones who walk the earth at this time into the center of the circle. We call upon their higher selves, of course, to enter this circle. This could be spouses or partners or lovers, children, mothers, grandmothers, cousins, aunties, uncles, colleagues, students, teachers. Anyone who needs the support of this love light right now, invite them into the circle now. And we witness the way the circle is filled now with the energies of these beings who need our blessings, even those we may be holding grievances against. We call upon our higher selves to invite them for the blessing of love that is so needed right now. For in forgiving those with whom we hold grievance, we set ourselves free and we set them free. And so we invite them in and in and in. Perhaps it's a former spouse or a lover. It doesn't matter who it is. Perhaps it's someone who you hold a heavy grievance and burden for that you really want to be free of. Let their higher selves come into this circle now for the great work that we are up to. Excludes no one. And now, with great courage in your hearts, sisters, I invite you to invite in anyone else that you really resist inviting in. It could be a personal relation that you hold a great bitterness toward. It could be a public figure that you hold great judgment for. Invite their higher self in now, in the recognition that in the love light of the One, we are all set free. Thank you for your courage and willingness to do this now. And now I want to take a moment to cast a sacred circle of protection around this field, already held in the love light, but honoring the elementals of the four directions. And so I call upon the energy of the east and the element of air, and the energy of the south and the element of fire, and the energy of the west and the power and the element of water, and the energy of north and the element of earth to come and hold us in this sacred space as we build this container, this field of love for all of life. We cast this circle. And now, sisters, I invite you to go deep within yourself, deep within, to the centermost part of your being, where that light is never snuffed out, the light of the divine in you. And connecting with that light now, allow it to grow from a little flicker, expanding, expanding, expanding until it surrounds you in the violet flame of love light that you are beyond this form. And sit for a moment in this flame of light, breathing with it, allowing the breath to be the force of light itself that saturates and surrounds you. And look around the circle as each priestess is engulfed in the violet flame of love light herself. And now, using the breath as your tool of expansion, let each inhale and exhale expand your flame further, growing that light until you feel and sense, see and know your flame touching the sisters next to you. And breathing and expanding that light further. Feel the way the light begins to saturate the ancestors at your back and the loved ones and beings in your life within the center of the circle. And breathing and expanding that light further. See the way each priestess's light is merged and blended and expanded such that all of our lights together have now saturated all of our ancestors behind us, all of the beings in the center of the circle, and merged with the central orb of love light, the Divine Mother herself, at the center of the altar, at the center of the temple. The temple is light, and we have actively, intentionally grown and fanned this light to be a healing balm for ourselves, our ancestors, and the loved ones and challenging ones in our lives at the center of this circle. And now, sisters, we breathe even more to expand this light beyond the temple itself. With each breath, the light grows. As we merge our own lights with each other and with the divine love light orb, it has so much power to grow and grow beyond the temple, growing beyond still the grounds of the temple all around. Each breath expanding this love light to saturate the entire village and city within which this temple lies, up into the heavens above and down below into the earth. In a great orb of light, each breath that we breathe together as a sister circle of priestesses grows beyond the nation in which this temple sits, beyond the waters of the oceans, until all of Mother Gaia is completely saturated in the light and the love of this powerful priestess activation. And feel the way the light expands now into the cosmos, luminous, pulsing, glowing, emanating a high vibrational frequency of love that heals and awakens any and all beings in any and all dimensions who witness it now. That's right. We are the love and the light we came here to see and be. And together we magnify that love light beyond the bounds of even our own comprehension as a blessing for all. And just bask for a moment in the power that we have as creator beings, as loving beings, to join our energy and exponentially expand the love light throughout the earth, the solar system, the universe, and the multi-dimensional multiverse, beyond even what we can imagine. And as we expand this love light as a blessing for all, we know that each of us walk an individual experience at this time. And yet we have access to this unity, this blessing, this love light whenever we need it. And so now, sisters, I invite you to imagine, to see, to feel, and to know that even as we expanded that light for all eternity in all time, space, and dimension, in this now moment, we will call back that light, condensing it into a very highly concentrated flame to place within our hearts. So pulling in that light now, pulling it back from the multiverse, from the expansion beyond our imagination, allowing it to be there and yet drawing it in simultaneously, ever so powerfully concentrated, all the way in to that centermost place in your being, until you feel it there, burning, glowing, the eternal blessing of your divinity. The remembrance that you are the divine, that you are a divine creator being having a temporary experience as a human. And feeling that flame of light deep within you, you know that you are the blessing you came here to see, to be, to experience, and to share with the many sisters and brothers on this earth who have not yet remembered. This love and this light is available to you whenever you need it. 3 to 4 breaths will reconnect you fully and completely, surrounding you and expanding that light as and when you need it. You are fully remembered now in the love and the light of the One. And this love light cannot be extinguished under any circumstances. And it is available as part of your soul's intended service for this great change on earth at this time. And so as you sit in the center of your being and around this circle of sister priestesses, look around you now and see that eternal flame within each of your priestess sisters who have come across the vast times of space to hold the field of love as emissaries of the divine feminine, as blessing. And see the way all those souls that we have invited to gather within the center of this circle have received a great blessing. Their burdens, their suffering, diminished greatly by this light. And feel in your mind's eye the way the ancestors who have your back behind you for countless generations, have received this blessing. And notice the way it shifts and changes them, and therefore shifts and changes you, because your lineage has changed by the blessing of this light. And take in a breath now with gratitude and pride, humble pride, knowing that you have come across vast eons of time to prepare to hold this flame of love light now. It is yours to carry, to be the blessing, to be the forgiveness, to be the love and the light, the emissary of the goddess on your earth walk. This light, this love is available to you whenever you need it. You need only breathe and connect with it. And now we will release our ancestors, that they may continue their journey more blessed, more free, more liberated from this sacred work. Hail and farewell, and thank you, ancestors of all the lineages who have been with us in this circle. And now we release those family members, loved ones, or challenging beings in our life whom we had called to the circle. We release them now to return to their own earth walk, more enlightened, healed, illuminated, and blessed from having been here and receiving this blessing, more at peace, and therefore more peaceful in their earth walk. And take a deep breath now. And again, clasp the hands of the sisters on either side of you. With your left hand palm up, receive your sister's hand to your left. With your right hand palm down, clasp your sister's hand to the right. And gaze around the room at each and every priestess, beautifully attired in her priestess regalia, representing her lineage for her earth walk this time round. And smile and know that we have come here for this. Our souls have prepared for lifetimes to do this powerful, sacred work of the remembrance of love's presence and the return of the priestess. And as we squeeze hands now for a moment, let us release the four directions. To the north and the element of earth, and the west and the element of water, and the south and the element of fire, and the east and the element of air. We thank you for holding us in this sacred space and release you now. Hail and farewell. And another squeeze of your sister's hands, and you may release them now. And let us rise together and embrace the sister on either side of you, one by one, in turn. Giving a hug, heart to heart, womb space to womb space. We embrace and hold each other for a moment of gratitude and celebration that we have come back together again. And when you've completed your hug, we will begin to leave the temple one by one, round the circle, honoring the light, the luminous love light at the center with a deep bow before departure, walking to the great doorway and exiting the temple. And as you exit the temple, you take a few steps into the forest around the temple and enter back into your physical body where it is located in time and space in this now moment. And taking a deep breath into your physical body in the here and now, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, thank you, thank you for participating in this ceremony. I want to invite us all to remember, to know, and to trust that this work we do is not just imagination, that we are wielding the powerful sword of love and light, that we are actually making a difference on this earth by being a vessel for love and light. That this work is what we came here to be and to do. Even as we have our own unique path and our own sort of 3D contributions to this great awakening, our own challenges, all of that. Also, we came for this work. And so again, I thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you for your presence on this earth at this time, for your willingness to be the love you came here to see. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to look at some of the comments that have been coming in. Hey, Sharon, welcome. Thank you for the stars and hearts, Denise. Kimberly says, oh, Dawn, multiple exclamation points. That was like nothing I've ever experienced. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I mean, I've led a lot of ceremony, and I do the best I can to bring it in a way that we can share together here. And so I'm so glad that you really experienced something, because that is really, I know that it doesn't have to be physical. I know that we can do this with our intention and our attention and our love-connected energies. Let's see. Pat says, I could feel the energy and brought to tears in the love light. Yes, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It really is. I mean, because we are eternal beings that are not actually physical form. This is all this dream that we're separate, right? So when we tap into that eternity of who we are, we work miracles, literally. When we're identified so much in the 3D form, we don't have nearly as much power. So while it is wonderful to get together in physical form, it really is, because we are, let's face it, we're walking this earth plane. We are physical right now, right? Still, I feel like there is so much that we can do from this virtual space. Judith says, thank you for this beautiful ceremony, Dawn and sisters. I remember. Yes, I remember too. Thank you, Judith. Kimberly says, thank you, sisters, for being here together in the here and now. And yes, thank you for all of us who are here and all of those who will join in the all time and spaces now to do this ceremony together with us at another now moment. Denise says, beautiful message. Rosemary says, I hold the light. Great gratitude to all sisters and my sister Pat, with whom I share lineage. Many tears of love and thankfulness. Petra says, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, sisters. Faye, hey, welcome, Faye. She says, thank you, Dawn. That was beautiful. Wayna, also new here. Welcome, sister. Tears of beauty, so heartfelt. Kimberly says, it really felt like we were there together. This is challenging us to move beyond our physical bodies, and you are such a bridge. You are teaching us, leading us, showing us we all can do it at any moment. Yes, thank you. I mean, it comes through me, so I just want to be clear. I'm grateful to be the channel through which this comes. It is because I have done a lot of inner work that I can do that, but I don't take full credit for it. I am divinely guided. This message came through in my pre-dawn morning yoga practice this morning. So I literally prepare the vessel in order to be the vessel for it. And it is an honor. It is an honor and a joy. Allison said, I felt a lightning shift of energy, very beautiful and oh so powerful. Ah, thank you, Allison. Thank you all, each of you, for being here. Those of you who are here as we record, and all of those of you who are here in the now moment with me as you watch this at some other now moment. So with that, we've been on an hour. I thank you for being with me. I offer you much love and many blessings. Again, there's more to come this year. We have some exciting things brewing. And in this next, I would say through the end of January, there may be some tumult. So use this. I give this to you as a tool, or I bring this forward through me to you as a tool. It is a blessing for all, and it is something you can tap into like that when, if you feel like in your life, you're breaking on the waves right now, or the waves are hitting, so this is a tool that's here for you. With that, my dear sisters, I'm going to sign off for now, sending you much love and bright blessings for the rest of your day or evening. And we will be in touch soon. Mwah, 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 mwah. Much love, dears. Bye for now.